Jackson Archer. Thank you so much for coming back to another episode of My Family Watches WandaVision for the first time. Tonight, myself and my family will be watching episode 8 of WandaVision. I'm just excited to watch this because there's only 2 episodes left in the series, and it's just been a fun show to watch so far. I'm really excited to see its climax, whether it's sad or exciting or whatever the case may be. I'm excited to see how they end the series. Jake and I have talked about this show is probably just a 1-season show, but we don't really know what the future holds for it, whether they'll continue a limited number of episodes in the future or if it's going to end with episode 9 and that's it. We don't know. I'm excited to see what these next 2 episodes have in store for us. This episode 8 is the longest episode of these 8 episodes that we've seen so far. So this runtime for episode 8 comes in at 46 seconds. The next longest behind that is episode 5, which is 41 minutes. A lot of us have been waiting for these last couple episodes to be closer to an hour. That's been rumored that the last couple episodes were going to be like an hour each. So we didn't get that yet, but I'm just happy that it's 46 minutes. For this episode, I'm hoping to see a couple of things. I've almost been exposed to spoilers on social media, but I've quickly scrolled away from them. But one thing that I've seen a little bit of that's really already been shown in trailers and promos for WandaVision was some kind of scene involving what seems to be the Mind Stone that's in Vision's head, that like Wanda or Vision are somehow inside it. Maybe she's reliving the moment that Vision died and the stone exploded and what the repercussions of that. I don't know what that scene entails, but I've been waiting to see that sequence that they've shown and advertised in promos for the show. Besides that, I'm really wanting to know more about Quicksilver. People all over the internet have all kinds of opinions on whether he's some evil person that's working with Agatha, or if he's Mephisto, or if he really is Quicksilver from the Fox universe, because we know that Marvel moving forward from here is going to be toying around with the multiverse in their storytelling. Personally, in my opinion, I would be so ecstatic if this Quicksilver was the Fox universe Quicksilver and he was just basically brainwashed, or is brainwashed by Agnes or Agatha. Really just hoping to see more with Quicksilver, because he was the very last thing you see of the end credit scene from episode 7. So I'm really excited to watch this. I've been waiting all week. The Agatha song has been stuck in my head all week, and I know it's been stuck in Jake's head too, and he loves it. So
I hate it so much.
So that's all I have to say about episode 8 before we get into it. So let's see what the rest of the family has to say.
No predictions, but this is my new notepad. Here's my pen. I need to get a cute pen. Anyways, here's my thoughts. Nothing new, just thoughts from the last episode, last week. There's so many questions, so little time. Agatha, where are the boys? And is she a friend or a foe? Like her, and since I don't know much about Agatha and any of that, that's all new to me. Is she gonna be like fighting with Wanda now, or like become friends and help her? Because they kind of were friends before we knew she was Agatha. On Monica, I'm still pretty psyched about her, and because she has powers, so yay for that. And the last thing was Vision. Is he going to figure everything out? Is he going to save the day? I don't know what's going to go on with Vision. And I'd like to say Vision has a calmness about him. There's something I like about Vision, and I think it's a calming. He's calm. There's something about him that I like. So that's really all I have to say.
Vision's always been kind of that calm, level-headed character just because he's a synthezoid. He was born of AI, technically. He's always been that calm, level-headed character, but we've seen in this series he's becoming more human. He got super angry with Wanda, so hopefully see more of his human sides evolving.
But I like the calmness about him, so I hope it doesn't evolve too much.
I agree. I would love if Quicksilver was his X-Men self, and that it ties into the Multiverse of Madness and Spider-Man No Way Home, which we know that's a title now. As for this episode alone, I don't really have a lot of thoughts going into it. I'm assuming it's going to be like a modern Marvel movie style, because we've already done all the decades up to the 2010s with Modern Family. So it's basically going to be like a Marvel movie, essentially. I'm just curious to see what, we know that Agatha's the villain now. and I'm just curious to see what's gonna happen with Vision, because he never made it back. So yeah, it's gonna be good.
2 points right there that sparked thought in my head. The last we saw of Vision, he was on his way back, and something from last week, I was really looking forward to seeing Vision and Darcy get back to Wanda. We've gone through all the decades now of different sitcoms that they've drawn on for this show. Now it's going to be truly just Marvel content, classic Marvel Studios.
I also really hope that Ultron gets to come back, because that still, as I said last week, the whole thing with Hayward looking for his body. I would love if Ultron would come back.
I agree. I would love if Ultron came back. I thought he was a great villain in Age of Ultron, but a little bit underutilized as compared to how he's depicted in some of the comics and cartoons. He's much scarier. So I would love to see Ultron come back and just be a menacing villain. But I did hear that since we know WandaVision is dealing with the multiverse, that in either this episode or episode 9, there's probably going to be a cameo that's featuring
So what's this talk about episode 9?
There's 9
It
episodes.
says 8 episodes on the TV.
Yeah, this is the 8th episode.
I might have accidentally said 9.
Oh.
I don't know.
So we might get something happen tonight in this version?
Things are going to happen. It's an episode.
Oh, okay.
We were just, that was a whole spiel for the video.
It's been entertaining and I'm liking it. Last week's was the best one yet. So I'm looking forward to this week improving on that.
Would you say that you sleep through WandaVision or Walking Dead more?
I sleep more in Walking Dead, I'm sure.
That's fair.
I typically stay awake for WandaVision, all of it.
The reason why we had that cutoff there is because it's so annoying how these episodes end and cut to the credits, but the police stand by. It feels like it's in the middle of the action. So we wanted to make a joke out of that.
I'm ready to watch this episode. Let's get into it. WandaVision episode 8.
That episode title sounds like Lost.
Previously on Lost.
Don't tell me what I can't do.
Oh, look, they gave Black Panther the last. Because of Chadwick Boseman, they gave him the last, like, big.
Yeah. Whoa,
For Agatha.
this is Agatha's episode. 1693.
This is probably the Salem witch trials.
Agatha Harkness. Are you a witch? I am a witch. Yet you have betrayed your coven.
Oh, so she like broke their rules.
Okay.
I can be good.
No, you cannot.
We can't kill her.
That's adorable. Where are my children? Where are my children? Where are they?
Only the witch that casts the runes can use her magic.
Who are you?
Who are you? Waiting for you to reveal your true self.
I got close with fake Pietro. Oh, and I sensed this place. So many spells cast all at once. Quick incantation and a feeble psyche. And you're good to go. Dozens of people under your thumb, all interacting with each other according to complex storylines. Years of study to achieve even the smallest convincing illusion.
You're even running illusions miles away at the edge of town.
I need you to tell me how you did this. I didn't do anything. I'd rather fall apart than face your truth. You felt empty, alone. Let's start there.
She's gonna take her through her past.
It's time to look at some real reruns. No.
Did you forget who's got your children stashed away in her bewitched basement?
Charming. Love the Cold War aesthetic. Mama.
Where's Malcolm Middle case?
I think it was all the seasons they did.
Yeah, but that's just so cool to see that.
Pietro.
Wanda!
I mean, we're right here.
Wanda!
Yeah.
I put it in the special place for
Welcome.
extra safekeeping.
Episode 21. Dick Van Dyke again?
Yep, all these shows that you watch. Yeah.
How her parents died. They talk about Age of Ultron. Yeah, they say painted on the side of the missile Stark. Yep. Yes!
Yeah. That's awesome. That's probably Howard Stark's.
By the end of the episode, it was all a bad dream. None of it was real.
Used a probability hex. No, So what I see here is a baby witch obsessed with sitcom. Where'd you get the big guns, Wanda? The only way forward is back.
This is where she and Pietro were with Hydra.
Yeah.
Loki's scepter has the Mind Stone in
We wanted to change the world.
So really, Loki was the first person to wield 2 Infinity Stones.
it. Oh my gosh.
Look,
It
it
looked like
showed
her wearing her
watch-
crown.
Look, she's watching all the stuff that we've already seen in the...
Up close and personal with an infinity stone that amplified what otherwise would have died in... I have a theory. Now,
Malcolm.
Yeah.
that was the first home vision
I love that. Tony knows that's a good
I
show.
apologize. I don't mean to intrude.
Hear what episode is playing. Yes!
He's not really injured.
How can you be certain?
It's not that kind of show. What makes you think that talking about it would bring me comfort? Sorry. It's just like this wave washing over me again and again.
Because it can't all be sorrow, can it? I've never experienced loss because I've never had a loved one to lose. But what is grief? If not love, persevering. Yes, it was very funny, wasn't it?
parents dead, brother dead, vision dead. You're right! There! Tell me how you did it.
There's a rumor that Hayward invited her there.
When I came back, he was gone. He deserves a funeral, at least.
Through the doors, down the hall, 2 left and right.
I got it. Thanks.
Director Tyler Hayward, I understand you're here to see the vision. Recover the body, that is that right?
Well, I was next of kin.
Come with me.
What did he think that was going to accomplish?
What are you doing?
Dismantling the most sophisticated sentient weapon ever made. Not everyone has the kind of power that could bring their soulmate back online.
I can't do that.
But I cannot allow you to take $3 billion worth of vibranium.
He's in mine.
Well, that's just it, Wanda. He isn't yours.
That's messed up.
I think he has a point. Maybe he's just being a dick to her.
Yeah.
Let her see for herself.
I can't feel you.
This feels weird. So the Scarlet.
Instructions. Come to Westview. Oh,
Who's me?
Vision. Grow old and
He bought that.
Wanda.
Yeah, it never showed her taking it. I think we just saw what actually happened. It never took his body.
Bravo!
So then who?
I know what you are. You're supposed to be a myth, a being capable of spontaneous creation. Let go of my children. Oh, yes, your children. This is chaos magic, Wanda. That makes you the Scarlet Witch.
I told you these episodes end in the middle of the action.
We took this thing apart and put it back together again a million times. When all we needed was a little energy directly from the source.
Oh, it's the Vision. Ultron, baby.
They brought him back. I knew it.
I had
So that's the
strings,
real
but
Vision?
now I'm free.
That's the real Vision's body.
That's
I guarantee
physically-
it. That's the
Physically, yeah, that's the physical
But we don't
body
know
of Vision.
mentally how he'll be.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's Ultron.
I'm calling it right now that Vision, Blue Vision, in the post-credit scene that we just watched, he's going to be bad in the sense that he's on Hayward's side. He's a being of Hayward's creation that's going to be opposing Wanda, and so it's going to be Blue Vision versus Team Wanda, basically. But long term, Wanda will win, and she'll get Vision back by this Blue Vision. That she's going to basically bring Vision back by getting the Blue Vision. Prior to watching this episode, I saw a YouTube thumbnail of a different reaction video to this episode of WandaVision that had the Blue Vision face in that. So I knew that was a part of this episode somewhere, but when we were watching this post-credit scene, I had no clue that that's what they were building towards right there. So that was really cool to see that. As for the rest of the episode, I thought it was really, really good. Right off the bat, Agatha mentions fake Pietro. She doesn't say anything else about it, so it would lead you to believe that he's not really real. She mentions your real brother is dead with a bunch of holes in him, but she doesn't really say anything else about fake Pietro. So I still think it's entirely possible that that is the actual Fox Universe Quicksilver Pietro that Agnes just pulled out of his universe because she needed a Pietro for her agenda. So hopefully we see more of that in episode 9, final episode as far as we know. It was really cool just seeing the different points in Wanda's life. You can see me and Jake's reaction, especially during the Wanda childhood sequence when the missile comes in and that says Stark Industries right on it. It's exactly the scene that Wanda and Pietro describe in Age of Ultron. That was so cool to see that. Such a tie back to Phase 2 of the MCU. Agatha is building this theory that Wanda has always been a witch and that she just didn't know it. Her powers weren't unlocked until she was experimented on with the Mind Stone. Then she really became the actual Scarlet Witch. When she first had that interaction with the Mind Stone, she kind of had that vision of seeing some figure floating in the sky in front of her that I would think it's just a vision of herself and her at her most powerful, because it looked like she had the crown that she's famous for wearing in the comics. And specifically with the missile scene, the last thing you see Kid Wanda do is she's reaching towards it, and then when she's pulled back out of the vision by Agatha, you hear Agatha describe or say that, "What was that? Are you using prolonging hex or using some kind of power?" So Agatha is getting at she's always been a witch. It just was awakened by the Mind Stone. So that could also play into the theory that Wanda is one of the mutants within the MCU world that have not ever been talked about. Obviously, they couldn't talk about the X-Men because they didn't own them yet. They can't refer to mutants. But in the X-Men world, all the superheroes are mutants, and they all have what's called the X gene. And that gene is somehow awakened in everybody who has it. And that's what brings out their mutant abilities. So that's what I'm thinking here, is that Wanda could be one of the mutants living within the MCU world. Now they can hopefully in the future actually describe that more. But the Mind Stone is what awakened her X gene and gave her her powers. Is it what not gave her? She always had the powers. They were just lying dormant, and the Mind Stone awakened them.
My thought process was that the reason why she's so much stronger is because of the Mind Stone that gave her her powers, made her a really strong witch.
Yeah, I don't know which really avenue to believe. They're both really similar, and it very easily could be that the Mind Stone just gave her her powers. But the way I take it is that she always had abilities and powers, but the Mind Stone is what awakened them, and probably heightened them even
Enhanced
more
them.
because it's a Mind Stone. It's
Just
an
like
Infinity Stone.
just like what happened with Captain Marvel
Yeah.
and anyone else.
Yeah, pretty
with an
much.
Infinity Stone. Two things. One, the post-credit scene with Ultron. I am still praying and hoping that
With Ultron?
my bad. With Vision, I'm hoping and praying that he's going to be Ultron. They're gonna upload. Hayward's gonna upload Ultron, or he's gonna have Ultron's voice, and he's gonna come back. That's what I hope that is, but I don't know for sure. Another thing that warmed my little heart was when we saw the Wanda watching Malcolm in the Middle when she was in the room that Tony put her in Civil War. That was really cool to see. And that also makes me think, since Tony put her in there, he gave her those DVDs because he knows what's good. He knows that Malcolm is a great show. So I love Tony now for that.
I don't have as many tonight, but I still have some. First of all, just my first thought was, I really like Agatha. I can't tell if she's good or bad, but I like her and I think she's hilarious. I wrote, Agatha is funny. I thought the shows was cute. That it showed that when she was a little girl watching the Dick Van Dyke Show, then when she was in the cell, it was Brady Bunch, and then when she was with Vision, it was, what was it? Oh, Malcolm.
Malcolm, yeah.
And so I just thought that was really cool because it showed the decades, but showed what we've been watching because it started out with the Dick Van Dyke Show. They were dressed like that. Then the next episode was the Brady Bunch episode, and then a couple episodes later it was the Malcolm episode, and now it's kind of all coming together and why that was. So that was cool. I don't like Tyler Hayward.
Hayward, yeah.
Hayward. I don't like him at all. I thought he was very insensitive, and maybe if he had treated Wanda different, you know what I mean, showed some sympathy, you know, maybe things could have been different. And I don't understand why she should just take him out. I mean, I know Avengers are supposed to be good, but I mean, I would just take him out if I was her. I would be like, done. And if you don't want to do it, ask Agatha too.
Forgot to talk about that. That was a really interesting scene too, because we don't really know who Hayward is. I mean, we know he's the director of S.W.O.R.D., and he seems, when we first saw him as a character, he seemed like a cool guy, but then he very quickly flipped to being kind of a dick. And so when he was talking with Wanda there, he seemed kind of genuine at first, and he brought up good points that he can't just hand over $3 billion worth of vibranium to her. Said that during the scene, but then the last thing he says before she goes nuts and breaks the glass is, that's just it, he isn't yours. That's not what you say to somebody who's grieving.
Exactly.
Like that. And she is grieving. To her, it just happened, like mere weeks ago, because she'd been snapped. Something's just off with him. I don't know, we've talked about before whether maybe he is actually Ultron, and that's why he's wanting the Vision's body to build the Vision again and be able to upload himself to the Vision if he is Ultron. Or maybe maybe he isn't Ultron and he's just doing that to put Ultron in there. I don't know, but it's very juicy.
I don't like him at all, and I still stand by. She should just get rid of him.
Yeah, that's a viable option.
Oh, I think Elizabeth Olsen, I think it needs to be said, she is a really good actress. Like even her crying scenes and the reactions on the look on her face. I mean, I know actors and actresses are, you know, good in general, but I was just really thinking in this episode that she's just really good, you know, like she's doing a really good job. And on that note, Catherine Hahn is great too. She's doing a great job. And I just think she's, again, how I started out, she's funny.
Yeah, she's really funny.
Yeah, I like her. I can't tell if she's supposed to be good or bad, but I like her either way. I hope she ends out on a good note, even if she's bad, that, you know what I mean, that like I'm satisfied with whatever ending hers comes to. Like, of course, if her and Wanda fight each other, I'm gonna be rooting for Wanda, but maybe, you know, they won't fight each other. Maybe they'll have to team up and fight something else, like if that new thing they build is Ultron, maybe they'll team up. That's what I would shoot for, if they team up and work together.
That would be very interesting if they both have to fight this new Vision together, because they're both clearly powerful. That'd be very interesting to see. It had to have been Goldie. No, it's not Goldie.
Both cats are here.
That would be cool to see Wanda and Agatha have to work together to defeat this new Vision. I think part of what makes Agnes so cool to watch is because Catherine Hahn she's been in all kinds of comedic roles, and I'm sure she's been in some serious roles too, but in this series in particular, and since she's been revealed as a bad person, as Agatha, she's still playing on her comedy strengths, but she's also has serious scenes, like at the end that was just a dramatic, serious scene, and she played it really well. So I like seeing her play to both comedy and seriousness within her role. So that's why I like her.
I don't have much this week. It was entertaining, but that's about all I got.
Okay, that's gonna do it for WandaVision episode 8. I feel like I'm gonna have to watch this episode again. Not that I didn't understand anything, but I don't know, I feel like I'm still processing it a little bit, and I definitely want to watch it again just because it was an interesting episode overall. But
Your files are gonna get deleted, and we'll have to watch it again.
We'll have to watch it again anyway,
Just
because
like
our
what-
computers like to delete files, like Jake has experienced now. Very good episode. Loved that end credit scene with Blue Vision. That's what I'm going to call him from here on out, was Blue Vision. I wonder though if he was inside like some kind of chamber that was making him look blue, or if I'm taking it as he's actually like a shade of blue.
I thought he was gray.
Gray.
I saw him as like a light gray. I don't
know. Well, we'll look at it later, but he seemed a little bit like baby bluish to me. I'm excited to see the finale episode next week, if it indeed is truly the finale. There's been rumors that they might be having a secret episode 10 that they're gonna reveal for us later. So that'd be really cool if that was actually true. Really excited to see episode 9 next week. Let us know what you think down in the comment section. Any ideas you have about this episode or what's going to happen in the next episode. We'd love to hear your input. Like the video if you enjoyed. Consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more family fun content like this, and click that notification bell so that every time we release a video, you know about it. That being said, have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next week for WandaVision Episode 9, season finale. Take care.